Okay, so today's lesson here focuses on volume of prisms. We've talked about surface area of a rectangular prism, of a triangular prism, and of a cylinder. And when we talk about surface area, it's the amount of surface that the object covers. So using this rectangular prism here as an example, when we were calculating surface area, I would ask you to calculate the area of the top, which was the same as the bottom, the front, which was the same as the back, and the two sides. And then you would add them together because you're calculating the amount of exposed surface. Well, with volume, it's actually the amount of space within a three-dimensional boundary. So it's actually, you can think of volume as the amount of space that an object occupies. And it is measured in cubic units. So what I'm going to do today is just show you, it's a very simple lesson. How do you calculate the volume for these three shapes that we've been focusing on in grade 8? For a rectangular prism, for a triangular prism, and for a cylinder. Keeping in mind that now we're looking at volume. So how much space does this rectangular prism occupy? So I'm going to, for volume, we use formulas. So for a rectangular prism, when you want to find the volume, the formula is length times width times height. So using this example here, if I wanted to calculate the volume, length, width, and height are actually depending on how you orient the object. This could be the length, this could be the width, and this could be the height if it was standing up. So the volume here is length and width and height. So 19 times 14 times 11. And plugging that into a calculator, we get 2,926 inches cubed. Okay. For a triangular prism, when we calculate the volume, we need to find the area of the base. So base times height divided by 2. So that's the area of the triangle times the height of the cylinder itself. So notice here that there's two h's. The small h refers to the height of the triangle. So we would go like base times height divided by 2. And the big H refers to the height of the cylinder. Okay, so looking at this example on the right here, we have volume equals base times height over 2 times the height of the cylinder. So I'm going to just shade in the triangle here. So we can see that it has a base of 9 and a height of 5. So volume equals 9 times 5 over 2 times the actual height of the triangular prism itself. I think I might have been saying cylinder by accident, but the actual height of the triangular prism which is 8. Okay, then you can plug these values into the calculator. So 9 times 5 divided by 2 times 8. And you get an answer of 180 millimeters cubed. And then in your workbook, a question might say, you have a triangular prism, it is 2/3 full. So then calculate the volume. So you would multiply the total volume by 2/3. Okay, last shape, which is a cylinder. So the formula for finding the volume of a cylinder is area of the base, which is a circle, so pi r squared. So the area of the circle times the height of the cylinder. So that would be this part here. So volume equals pi r squared times height. Our radius is 0.6 squared and our height is 15. So plugging that into your calculator, keeping in mind bed mass, so I would probably square this first, so 0.6 squared times pi times 15, and I get 16.96 meters cubed as my volume. So in the workbook, you might get a question asking you for a volume of a composite object. So it might be a house, for example, which would consist of a rectangular prism with a triangular prism on top. So you would calculate the volume separately for both shapes and add them together. So that's it for this lesson.